guys, it's Deanna here, and it's about that time in the Brooklyn Tweed Winter of Color Work Cal where you're going to be joining your sleeves. So I thought I would put together a little tutorial video for those of you who maybe haven't done a union round for bottom up yoke before. I know that the top down has been all the rage lately, so perhaps this method is new to some of you. So I hope this is of any help. And I just thought this would be a nice little segue to our steeking meeting, which is going to be happening on February the 24th. So this is kind of the last step, joining the sleeves and finishing your yoke color work before we do the steeking, where we cut right up the middle of the cardigan. So hope you enjoy. Okay, so we've got everything we need here. We've got waste yarn, our darning needle, and our markers for the raglan. And I'm just going to get going knitting across the right front, and we're headed towards the first side marker. So I'm doing the 39.5 inch men's size, and my instructions say that I should be knitting to 2 stitches before the side marker. So here we are, we got our 2 stitches before the side marker. So yours might be slightly different depending on what size you're doing. So I'm just going to grab my darning needle and waste yarn. So we're going to thread the yarn on the darning needle, and we're going to basically use the darning needle to put these stitches on hold with our waste yarn. So I'll slip the first 2 on, and we're going to remove our side marker, and these stitches are going to be held for the underarm, so they're going to match with the underarm stitches on your sleeve. There we go, so we'll just tie this off so we don't have any stitches flying off, but not too tightly, so it'll be easy to get them back off in the future. And then we're going to put on our marker, and this is going to help us with our raglan shaping later. So here I go, I'm going to grab my right hand sleeve, and I've actually marked my sleeve with a marker. So I just put a little marker here so I would know which one was the right side. And I'll just show you, I'm going to knit 1 stitch. This is what you would do if you had this on a spare needle, but I don't. I've got it on waste yarn. So actually what I need to do is slip all of these stitches onto my left hand needle so that I can knit across them. So we'll just speed that up. And then you'll see when we get to the end here, I had that 1 stitch that I had already knit. So now I'm going to knit, after I pull out this waste yarn that I was holding my sleeve stitches with, I'm going to knit all the way across my sleeve stitches. And you're just going to want to make sure that you do that first stitch nice and snug so that you don't have a gap there. So it's normal for this to be a little tight too as you're going across, because you're putting quite a number of stitches onto your needle. So here we go. I've gotten all the way across my sleeve, and I'm going to put my other raglan marker, and then I'm going to keep knitting across to the next side marker. So again, make sure you do that first stitch a little bit snug. So here I go, headed towards the other side marker. And I'm going to stop 2 stitches short of the marker. And again, that might be different depending on what size you're working on. So here we go. 2 stitches before the marker. So I'm going to thread up my darning needle and waste yarn again, and I'm going to slip off my 4 stitches and remove my side marker. And now I'm going to have the underarm for my left hand sleeve. And we'll tie that off. Okay, so I'm just going to put my raglan marker on. Again, that helps us in the future when we do our raglan shaping for the shoulders. And I've grabbed my left hand sleeve, and I'll just show you here that the underarms are supposed to line up. So I've got 4 stitches held on my body, and then here are my 4 stitches on the sleeve, and those line up together. So again, if you have this on a spare needle, you can knit it right off of the spare needle, but because I have mine held on waste yarn, I'm going to have to slip all of those stitches onto the left hand needle before I can knit across the sleeve. So here we go, zip those on there. Okay, and then before we get going, I'm just going to pull out my waste yarn that was holding those sleeve stitches. Doesn't want to go, there it goes. And now we're going to knit across the sleeve, making sure that that first stitch is a little bit snugger than the rest. So I found that the left-hand sleeve was a little bit more difficult because I've already got so many stitches on my needle now. I'm using a 40-inch circular. If you find that it's too much, you could certainly up a needle size. You'll see here it's a little bit sped up, but that I kind of resorted to a bit of magic loop action by pulling the needle out and looping it so that I would be able to work all the way across. So here's our raglan marker. That's the last one. And then again, we're going to do that first stitch a little bit tighter. And now we're going to knit all the way across to the beginning of the round. So we'll knit all the way across the front here until we get to our marker for the steeking stitches. Here we are, steeking stitches. Go through there, right to the beginning of the round. And now we've got our sleeves all joined up. So here you go. All your sleeves and the body of your sweater are now all on the needle. And you're ready to do the color work for your yoke. And then we're going to get on to the fun but potentially scary part where we steek the sweater.